You know that feeling, right? You're walking with a group of friends, you turn around and, whoops, you're like 10 steps ahead of everyone. People are always telling you to slow down, but what if they've got it all wrong? Today, we're going to decode the hidden psychology of people who walk fast and find out what your pace really says about the power of your mind.
I mean, does that sound familiar? To you, you're just moving. It feels totally normal. But to everyone else, you're leaving them in the dust. You get hit with the labels, right? Impatient, anxious, always in a rush. But what if something much deeper and honestly way more impressive is actually going on?
And that is the big idea we're jumping into today. What if walking fast isn't some flaw you need to fix? What if it's actually a powerful physical sign of a superactive mind? We are going to get into exactly why your natural pace is so much faster and how this simple habit might just reveal a hidden cognitive strength you didn't even know you had.
Okay, let's get right into it. The first hidden trait is all about your mental speed. See, it turns out your walk isn't random at all. Nope, it's a direct physical reflection of how fast your brain is actually working. So let's peel back the layers and see what's really happening in there.
So this all boils down to something called continuous processing. What does that mean? Well, it means your brain is basically never switched off. It's constantly scanning your surroundings, connecting new ideas to old ones, and running little what-if scenarios about the future. It's like having a supercomputer for a brain that's always on.
And this quote right here, it just says it all. Your body isn't the one in charge, not at all. It's just trying its best to keep up. You're not rushing for no reason. Your physical engine is just hitting the gas to try and match the incredible speed of your mental gears.
Now, when your mind is moving that fast, it leads directly to our second trait, a really low tolerance for boredom. And listen, this isn't just about being a little impatient. This goes way deeper. We're talking about something fundamental to your brain's wiring.
Just take a look at this comparison. For most people, slow is just slow. But for you, when things move at a snail's pace, it's not just annoying, it can feel almost physically painful. Why? Because your highly active brain gets starved of stimulation. It literally stops releasing those feel-good chemicals, like dopamine. And that sluggish pace, it makes you feel genuinely, uncomfortably restless.
So here's the bottom line. Your fast walk is actually an unconscious escape plan. It's your mind basically grabbing your body by the hand and saying, come on, let's get out of here. It's actively hunting for the next challenge, the next interesting thought, the next jolt of stimulation that it absolutely craves.
And that constant search for what's next leads us perfectly into trait number 3. You have a future-oriented mind. Think about it. Some people can just stroll, aimlessly, just soaking up the moment. But your mind? It's almost always locked on the end goal, on the destination.
There's actually a psychological term for this. It's called future-oriented cognition. It just means your brain has this amazing ability to simulate arriving at your destination long before your feet actually get you there. You get energized by the outcome, by the result, not by the slow step-by-step process of the journey. And that's exactly why you're always pushing forward. You're trying to close the gap between where your mind is and where your body is.
I mean, what a powerful way to look at it, right? You walk fast because in your head, you're already there. The journey is basically complete. You've already seen yourself arrive, and your body is just playing catch-up to a mind that's already crossed the finish line.
Okay, so if your mind is always racing towards the future, it just makes sense that you'd need some room to think, right? And that brings us to our fourth trait, your need for mental space. Ever notice you walk even faster when you're by yourself? Well, there's a really fascinating reason for that.
For you, walking alone isn't just a preference. It's practically a necessity. The physical act of walking actually fires up the creative and problem-solving networks in your brain. And that solitude? It gives you the clear, quiet space you need to really think, to connect the dots without all the noise and distraction.
Here's a cool way to think about it. By moving quickly, you're essentially creating your own personal bubble, a little zone of cognitive quiet. You're physically creating a buffer that protects your focus, and that allows your mind to wander freely and make those brilliant connections that can only happen when you're truly uninterrupted.
So let's recap. You've got a lightning-fast mind, you can't stand being bored, you're always looking to the future, and you need space to think. All of this comes together in our fifth and final trait. You operate by your own internal standards. And this isn't just about how fast you walk. This is about the pace you set for your entire life.
This is all rooted in a psychological concept called an internal locus of evaluation. Now that's a fancy term, but it just means you judge your own actions by your own internal rulebook, not by what everyone else is doing. You're not looking at the crowd to set your pace, you're listening to your own internal logic.
And you can see how it all connects, right? You rely on your own reasoning. You're driven by a deep need for autonomy. So, of course, things like social timelines and the way things are supposed to be done feel super restrictive to you. You set your own pace, and that's not just on the sidewalk, that's in everything you do.
So listen, the next time someone tells you to slow down, I want you to stop apologizing. You're not just impatient. You're not just restless. You have a mind that is processing the world with incredible speed, a mind that craves efficiency and operates on a totally different level.
And if there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. Your fast walk is the physical proof of a mind that is always working, always connecting, always moving forward. It is a sign of immense cognitive strength, not some kind of social flaw.
If this finally made you feel understood, like someone gets it, then do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button, because that's what we do here. We decode the real psychology behind why you are the way you are, so you can turn your unique traits into your greatest strengths.